What if I told you your biggest enemy is not outside you, not your circumstances, not your past, not bad luck, it's you. Not the version of you that wants success, the hidden version, the one quietly sabotaging your life from the shadows. Think about it. Why do people destroy good relationships? Why do they procrastinate on dreams they deeply care about? Why do they keep returning to habits that make them miserable? Why do people say they want change, but the moment life starts changing, they start running away? Because deep down, part of them is terrified of becoming someone new, and that is what the mountain is you is really about. This book isn't about motivation, it's about self sabotage. The invisible pattern silently controlling your future. And by the end of this video, you will understand why your greatest obstacle might actually be yourself. Part 1. The mountain is you. Most people spend their lives blaming external problems. If I had more money, if people supported me, if life gave me a chance, then everything would change. But author explains something uncomfortable. Your external life often reflects your internal state, and the mountain blocking your life is not outside you, it's inside you. Your fears, your habits, your emotional wounds, your patterns. Because humans don't just fear failure, sometimes they fear success. Success changes identity. It creates uncertainty, and the brain hates uncertainty. Even painful situation can feel safe if they are familiar. That's why people stay in toxic relationships, stay in jobs they hate, stay trapped in cycles they complain about. The familiar pain feels safer than the unknown future. And until you understand that, your life keeps repeating itself. Part 2. Self-sabotage has a purpose. Here is one of the most powerful ideas in the book. Self-sabotage is not random. It's protection. Every destructive habit usually started as a survival mechanism. Overthinking. It once protected you from mistakes. People pleasing. It once protected you from rejection. Procrastination. It protects you from failure and sometimes success. Even being perfect is sometimes feared. And this becomes easier to understand through a simple story. Imagine a man who spent years saying he wants success. He buys courses, makes plan, and starts project. But every time things being improving, he disappears. He procrastinates, avoids opportunities, stops showing up. At first, it looked like laziness, but eventually, he realizes something terrifying. As a child, he grew up in home where failures were punished harshly. So his brain learned something dangerous. If I try seriously and fail, I will be rejected. Suddenly, everything makes sense. Avoiding success wasn't weakness, it was protection. And honestly, many people are living exactly like this right now. They attack themselves every day without understanding the pain underneath their behavior. That's why motivation alone rarely works. Because you cannot heal patterns. You refuse to understand. Real transformation begins when you stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "What is this behavior trying to protect me from?" That question can change your life. Part 3. Your brain prefers familiar pain. Here is something terrifying. Your brain is designed to keep you alive, not fulfilled, which means it prioritizes familiarity over happiness, even if that familiarity hurts you. That's why people unconsciously recreate the same problems, different relationship, same emotional pattern, different goal, same self doubt, different year, same excuses, because unresolved emotional repeat themselves until they are confronted. And this is where most people stay trapped. They want a new life without becoming a new person. But transformation demands identity change. You cannot create a different future while emotionally attached to your old self. That's the real mountain. Letting go of who you have been. Part 4. Healing requires responsibility. Now, here's where the book becomes uncomfortable. Healing is not waiting for motivation. Healing is responsibility. Not blaming yourself for everything, but recognizing that your life changes. When your pattern changes, that means you are facing difficulties. Sometimes you are the one delaying your growth. Sometimes fear is making your decision. Sometimes comfort is quietly destroying your potential. And sometimes you already know exactly what needs to change. You are just avoiding the discomfort of changing it. That's why self awareness is powerful. Because once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. Awareness creates choice. You stop recreating automatically. You stop living unconsciously. You begin rebuilding yourself intentionally. Part 5. Real transformation isn't dramatic. Most people think transformation looks dramatic. A huge breakthrough, a perfect routine, instant confidence. But real change is usually quiet, and that's a story that explains this perfectly. Imagine someone standing at the bottom of a massive mountain. Every year they say, "This is the year my life changes." But they never climb because they keep waiting to feel ready, waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation, waiting for certainty. Then one day something changes. They stop waiting and they take one small step. That's it, just one. The next day, another, then another. Months later, their entire life looks different. Not because of one magical moment, but because small, consistent actions slowly changed who they became. That's how transformation actually looks. Quietly, slowly, repeatedly. The book explains that your habit creates your identity and your identity creates your future, which means every small action matters more than you think because every decision is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. The real message. The real message of the mountain is you is simple. Your self sabotage is not proof that you are broken. It's proof that there are parts of yourself still trying to protect you, but eventually survival mode becomes a prison. And the only way forward is to stop
Money was
running
so
from
smart, dude.
yourself. Because your mountain is not there to destroy you, it's there to transform you. Because once you stop fighting yourself, everything begins to change.